After relentless coverage by News 9 on the National Education Policy Class 1 age rule crisis affecting over 5 lakh children in the state of Karnataka, change is finally on the horizon. Speaking exclusively to News 9, Karnataka's Education Minister Madhu Bangarappa assured that the issue will be resolved within the next 2 to 3 days, promising much needed relief to anxious parents.
I'm joined by Madhu Bangarappa, the Education Minister. Sir, you have an idea about the age criteria for students who have finished UKG and they have not been able to go to class 1, and close to 5 lakh kids having a problem, parents are having a problem. Any assurance to them, sir?
See, it is 5 lakh children. I don't know where you got these numbers from, but it varies on a monthly basis. You know, it doesn't, at a time it doesn't come. As of now, the rules is 6 years. I think somebody had gone to the court and all these issues were there. We are looking into the matter and trying to manage to help the children's and even the parents' requisition has come. As of now, there is nothing, no court. I thought there was a court restrictions on us, but it's not like that. We can take our own decisions also. I have told my technical team to give me guidances. I think we might change and kind of relax in favor of parents also, but depending on the technical details what they are going to give. I think another 1 or 2 days will come out. I have put all my officers full-fledged and do it because admissions are happening.
Other states have already done it, like Madhya
That's
Pradesh.
what. No, few states have done and few states have not done. But whatever it is, there was a practice in this thing also. 5 years, 5 months it was there. But suddenly the previous government have changed it. So now when I change it again, a lot of other repercussions also. I'll have to look into those things also. Keeping the court issues away, because court has not interfered in any policy making or anything like that. They have taken concurrence of a particular case only. Some parent had gone. But as of now, we are thinking of taking this. I think you'll have to give me somewhere around 2 to 3 days. Less than that, I think we'll take a call.
Thank you so much.
Right,
Thank you so
thank
much.
you.
That was Madhu Bangarappa giving us an assurance that 2 to 3 days is what he needs, and by that time he will get along with his team, see the technicalities that are involved, and make sure that this issue of the age criteria for students who are from UKG and are not able to go to class 1 is solved.
Now, the rule mandates that children must be 6 years old to enter class 1. Parents argue that this decision, announced in November 2022, unfairly affects children who had already begun their pre-primary education under the previous system in the academic year 2021-22. Now, in other words, children who are on track to enter class 1 between the ages of 5 and 6 are now being forced to repeat a year of pre-primary education. Finally, the government has broken its silence and is assured that the issue will be rectified at the earliest. And that's the latest as far as the big News 9 impact is concerned. This coming in post the relentless coverage by News 9 on the crisis for the Class 1 age rule, according to the National Education Policy, that is affecting over 5 lakh children in Karnataka. Finally, change seems to be on the horizon, because Karnataka's Education Minister Madhu Bangarappa, speaking to News 9, has assured that the issue will be resolved in the next 2 to 3 days. And that means it's much needed relief to all those anxious parents of those 5 lakh children who've been stressed in the recent past. We have Nabila now joining us live from the newsroom for more. Nabila, talk to us. This is great News 9 coverage impact. You were on the ground in Bengaluru speaking to anxious parents, stressed out parents. This news might certainly come as big relief for them.
Absolutely. I can tell you for sure, Krishna, that parents are very anxious and waiting for a decision to come about, because you have schools at this point putting a lot of pressure on the parents to give an NOC, a letter written saying that they will have their children repeat a year if at all the rule does not come in their favor. So while schools are putting pressure on parents, parents of course do not want to have their children repeat a year. The mental agony that it builds in the child and a financial stress that the families go through owing to repeating a year is immense. So Madhu Bangarappa in a first has spoken to News 9 and has affirmed that this decision that will come about by the government in barely about 2-3 days time will be in favor of the students. In fact, we've been chasing him on the ground. He's been kind enough to respond to us every time, and he's saying he just needs a green signal from the Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. He's going to be seeking time from him and getting this passed at the earliest. In fact, a very specific word that he said to me as well today is that he wants to bring it. That's his hope, that he wants to bring it to what it was in the previous regime. Basically under Siddaramaiah, previously, the previous government, that's about 5 years ago, when the age limit was slightly relaxed. It was about 5.5 years students could enroll into class 1. That was the accepted norm. He wants to bring it back to that point. Also acknowledge the fact that students at this point are very smart, very quick to pick up and very quick to learn. So it's unfair to the students to and parents of course to ensure that the child is 6 before they're moved to class 1. So he did accept and acknowledge all the difficulties, the challenges, and says that he's also verifying how other states have implemented this rule. In fact, very interestingly, he said this is an NEP stringent rule. Karnataka has not fully accepted or embraced NEP, so therefore he's not insistent on having that rule implemented here. Yes, the matter is also in court, but the court also gives some kind of room for the government, Karnataka government as a state head, to make their decisions and set their deadlines or set their limits of age. So, which is why they feel that they're going to be implementing a decision that will be in favor of the parents and the students. Interesting how, Krishna, many other countries across the world usually promote students based on readiness and less on age. But India, of course, at this point, still coping with the fact that students, they're trying to basically have a strong foundation for students, but at the same time are missing the point, many states missing the point that students are ready much earlier on. And we could possibly think of pushing students ahead based on preparedness and less on age. Of course, a few months here and there should not be a concern, but foundation is also important. But 5 years, 5.5 years should really be a grace period, or should really be good enough for the schools to be taking them in for first grade. Well, let's just hope the Karnataka government gives out this official notice and notifies the schools at the earliest so the parents are relieved.
Nabila Jamal there getting us the latest on that News 9 impact. Thank you, Nabila, for joining us.